I rise this evening to pay tribute to all the men and women who have worn our nation's uniform in defense of our freedom. Veterans Day is a deeply meaningful day for our nation. Our country sets this day aside to honor her service members. In Nebraska, we remember the sacrifices of our own heroes. We admire the courage required to leave your home in Nebraska and serve America in her hour of need. It was over 100 years ago, at the 11th hour, on the 11th day, during the 11th month of the year, that the roars of battle in World War I fell silent. Since then, Nebraskans and all Americans have come together every year to renew our appreciation for our nation's heroes. We pledge that, no matter how much time has passed, we will never forget their valor, their service, and their selflessness. In June, it was one of the greatest honors of my life to gather at Freedom's Altar in Normandy, France, to commemorate the 75th anniversary of D-Day. I was overwhelmed with both gratitude and pride for our men and women who ensure that our freedom lives on and evil is vanquished. 75 years earlier, minutes from where I was standing, Omaha's own Corporal Ed Morissette arrived at the beaches of Normandy with the 6th Infantry Regiment. As the Omaha World Herald reports, quote, "He leaped over the side of the landing craft into shoulder-deep water, carrying a roll of communications wire. Morissette recalled holding the wire and his rifle above the water as he waded through, dodging an onslaught of enemy artillery fire. By the grace of God, he completed his mission and he survived the Normandy invasion." Corporal Morissette continued fighting for our nation in France and Germany. Following the war, his career as a civilian engineer eventually led him to Offutt Air Force Base. Recently, his courage and his dedication were recognized. At the age of 96, the government of France awarded Corporal Morissette the highest military or civilian medal, the French Legion of Honor. Corporal Morissette's story inspires all of us to remember that our duty to honor our nation's heroes is never finished. The responsibility falls to all of us to listen to their stories and to carry them on. Not only do we honor our troops with our words, we salute them with our actions. Nebraskans have always taken this to heart. It's why you read stories like that of Chuck Ogle from Kearney. He was a pilot in the 498th U.S. Army Medical Corps Air Ambulance Company during the Tet Offensive in Vietnam. Every single day, he carries with him a list of his 14 fellow service members who were killed in action. It's why you see stories of hero flights for Nebraska veterans to visit Washington, D.C. Last October, a plane carried 80 Korean veterans from Hall County to our nation's capital to visit the monuments dedicated to their service. This marked the 10th flight for the county's veterans to Washington. And now, every living veteran in Hall County has been given the opportunity to make this trip. And it's why over the last few years, business leaders and members of the Omaha community rallied around the goal of building a new ambulatory clinic at the Omaha VA Hospital. In response to delays to update the aging Omaha VA facility, I introduced and President Obama signed into law the Chip In for Vets Act in 2016. The bill allows control of VA projects to be placed where it should be, and that's in the hands of local communities. It allows communities like Omaha to take the lead on new projects by permitting the VA to accept private contributions to ensure VA projects are finished both on time and on budget. Omaha community and business leaders came up with this idea in the first place, and they have delivered. Construction began on a new ambulatory center on the Omaha VA campus in May of 2018. After an original cost estimate of $120 million, the Government Accountability Office released a preliminary report that found the implementation of the Chip In for Vets Act would reduce the total estimated cost to $86 million. The report projected that the new facility is now $34 million under budget, and it's 4.5 months ahead of schedule. In the same report, VA officials stated that because of the agency's current major construction backlog, the chip-in approach allowed work on the Omaha project to begin at least 5 years sooner than it would have under a normal process. Now, Nebraska's veterans may get the quality of care that they need and deserve earlier than expected. The success of this project is a testament to the deep respect and admiration Nebraskans have for our veterans. Scripture encourages us to pay our dues wherever they may be. If someone is due respect, show them respect. If honor is due, honor them. The amount of honor and respect our state and nation owe our veterans is something that we can never fully repay. Our country could not live on without their service and sacrifice. I want to sincerely thank our veterans for their service when our country needed it the most, whether it was in the trenches of Europe while liberating a continent from evil, or in the Pacific Theater during World War II, or stopping the spread of communism in Korea and Vietnam, or defending our nation against terrorism in Iraq and Afghanistan. The rescue of human freedom began with you. I can promise you, America will never forget your incredible courage and patriotism, and we will continue to strive to be worthy of the freedom that burns brighter today because of your service. On behalf of all Nebraskans and a grateful country, thank you. May God bless our nation's veterans and their families, and may God bless the United States of America. Mr. President, I yield the floor.